So, as part of these people's effort to climb the mountain, they wanted to make their adventure known to young people in urban communities, to encourage them to get out and discover the world and see what they could do and not to limit themselves. So as part of the support group for that, we organized an expedition down to Everglades National Park, where we took, I don't know, about 60 young people from the Miami area, and we walked 10,000 feet. That's what we were supposed to walk, which is, I think, about a little over half a mile. Well, we walked on the Anhinga Trail, and Ranger Sabrina Diaz was one of the rangers who was with us. And she said, when she spoke to you, that it was that expedition that gave her the idea of this writing expedition. Well, the Wilderness Act was signed 50 years ago. I think it was it must have been in September. I think it was signed in September of 1964. Yes. So all of this year, environmental organizations and national parks and forests all over the country are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Wilderness Act, which is what preserved wilderness as a place where man can go, but he cannot remain. And he has to get there under his own power. He cannot drive there, or there cannot be any motorized traffic there. You have to get there on your own energy. Well, sure. Well, the Wilderness Act protected the places where man can go on his own steam. But until the Civil Rights Act, many African Americans could not go to a lot of places. It was like separate but equal, supposedly.
Right.
The people did not have the freedom to go where they wanted to in our country. So those two acts of, in a sense, well, they weren't simultaneous, they were signed a couple months apart, but they helped to determine where people could go and how people could use the land. Where they could go on the land for black people, where we could go, now we could go everywhere, okay? And that was the Civil Rights Act. And then the Wilderness Act said where people could go but could not remain, that we had to have some land that we saved for posterity, for those people who come behind. Both of those acts were about land and freedom and access. That it will be hard to disturb your peace ever again, because you know that something so much bigger than yourself is in charge. You are not in charge. That's the thing that I know you will come out of that with, and then you will want to share that with other people and share that it's the part that gave you that, It's the wilderness experience that gave you that. And because I think that the thing that most people need now more than anything is something that gives them joy, something that gives them peace. Everybody's running around after the dollar, but you know what? The dollar cannot, it is important, but it cannot sustain your soul. And wilderness and nature sustain the soul. Be open. I realize that you are very young and your life experience is relatively limited, I would think, for most of you. So all of these experiences are going to be new to you. However, if you go into it with a sense of fear, then whatever you go into it with, that's what is going to be magnified. So go into it with a spirit of expectation, with a spirit of adventure. Be ready for anything. Don't turn your nose up at anything, and don't resist anything, because at 63 years old, the biggest lesson that I have learned is to accept and to be at